Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day you are watching this video. Today on the ramp, I've got a 2014 Citroen Berlingo 1.6 DV6. I absolutely love the DV6 engines. They're absolutely fantastic. Real mile muncher, economic. But anyway, enough of that rubbish. Customers brought it in, lack of power. We've got cooling fans which are stuck on full speed. Should we get the diag and have a little look and see what is going on? Now, before we start, this vehicle has done 148-ish thousand miles. I've got the VCI plugged into the connector, which is just inside the glove box there. And because the fans are coming on, we're going to be putting our battery support on. And if you're doing diagnostics on these newer cars, battery support is an absolute must. Positive to positive, and the negative, put it to your chassis. Now let's just jump onto the diag. Now the tablet that I'm using is the X431 Euro for those that are going to be asking in the comment section. Let's jump around, let's do a high-speed scan. It's going to scan every single module in the vehicle. If it comes up green, it's good. If it's red, it's bad. Well, I wouldn't say bad. Some of them can have intermittent faults caused by a voltage. If it's got low voltage, it'll flag a fault, if that makes sense. That's why we should always put the battery support on. Wait for it to do its thing. On these older cars, when you're doing a high-speed scan, it does take a little bit of a while. It all depends on how fast it can pull the information from the vehicle. Now, on the newer cars, a high-speed scan is different. The new Mercedes and the BMWs, as soon as you press high-speed scan, bang, it's done. But the older cars, because everything is a little bit slower speed, it's harder to get from that to that. I wouldn't say harder, it's just a little bit slower. Slower. Word of the day. Now, I've done the scan and I've created a report, and the reason why I create a report is because before and after repair. And you're kind of covering yourself at the same time, because there's a lot of people out there, oh, since you've done this, no, this is what your vehicle coming with, if that makes sense. We have got particulate filter clog detected, overloaded. Additive adding quantity, yeah, we know that pretty much the DPF is kaput. We're going to get that replaced. Fan unit, twin speed, incoherence, intermittent. All right, let's get this van started. And let them fans come on. Right, fans are on. Let's put the ignition back on. And this is why you need battery support. Ignition is on, engine off, and we are pulling 72 amps. Now that will drain that battery like that. So what we're going to do is just do a big clear down and just see if the fans go off. With some intermittent faults, the fans, it might go off, or it might not. Right. Let's turn the ignition off. We are going to have to little look. There we go. The fans have now gone off. Let's start it up again. Are they going to come back on? No. The fans are staying off, so that has gone off. Sometimes with a coolant fault, when you get an intermittent fault, the fans will stay on until the fault code's cleared, if that makes sense. Right, now with them fans still being off, what we're going to do, we're going to jump back on the diag tool, and we're just going to activate the cooling fans. Test with engine stopped. Cooling fan unit, let's try the low speed. Fans are being controlled and activated as it should be. They've gone off. Let's just try the high speed. There we go. Stop them. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is jump back onto read data stream, cooling, select them all, and I put my tool here, and I can see if the fans come back on. I'm going to start the vehicle up. We're going to leave it run for 10 minutes or so, let it get up to temperature, and we're just going to monitor our fan speed just to make sure that the vehicle is doing what it should be and the fans are being controlled by the computer correctly. Is it fixed? I don't know yet. We'll have a little look. Let's give it a little bit of time. I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for the van to get up to temperature, we'll jump around to some more live data and have a look. I'm sorry that I'm with this with my hand, but I'm just in between fixing a car and making a video, and it is hard work. Difference in the pressure between the particulate filter input and output is 60 millibars. Let's just get in the car and see how blocked, because he is complaining of this vehicle being extremely sluggish. I'd take over straight away. 60 millibars is pretty much heavily blocked. It is like going for a run with both noses blocked. 3000 RPM, we've got 300 millibars. That is one DPF. End of life, unfortunately. You know what? I haven't got all day to let this vehicle get up to temperature. I'm sure it's going to be right if I can control it off my tablet, the ECU, high speed and low speed. I'm sure the vehicle is going to look after itself. I think we're going to move around to changing the DPF as well. Let's take it up in the air and get the DPF off. Very simple to do on these. On these, it is an absolute fantastic design because the DPF splits off the bottom of the catalytic converter. 30mm bolt, and the bottom of it pulls out, the DPF pulls out. A little bolt there, which we're going to get undone, and also just the... Oh, hang on. Yeah, just this one pipe from after the DPF pressure. Little 10mm up there, can you see it? Just up there, a little bit crusty. And then the rubber pipe off the metal pipe, and it should just slide out. There's nothing to it really, very simple. With a little bit of magic. We've done some magic on this fan and we've got it off. Like I said, it's straightforward to take off. And if you have a little look at the top of it now, it is heavily blocked, and you can probably see that orangey, gingery stuff. Well, that is an ash buildup, and also a PATS fluid, Elias fluid, whatever you want to call it. These Citroen Peugeots, they do use an additive, which is here. And we are going to be also topping that tank up as well, because that is low. And how I know it's low is because the customer come into me on a Saturday, I think, late, and he was using it and had a fault, and I had to code it out of the car, but obviously I've had to code it back into the car now, so we're going to do it properly. Right, now we need to get this little pipe out of there without damaging the threads. I think what I'm going to do is use my new little zipper disc, Unreal that is. We're just going to run a little slot down it, so we'll just open it up and it should come undone very easily. Right, well, I've got one pipe out. They come out relatively easy. We've got the new end in the DPF, but unfortunately the pipe that little piece there had broke off the pipe. I don't know how, but it has. But it's not going to, well, it would have caused us a bit of a situation, but I think we can get around it somehow. I'm going to put that pipe back in there, push it down, get it fitted in place where it should be, and I'm just going to put a blobber weld and a blobber weld and keep that in place. It's not going to leak, and it's not going to be losing pressure, because all the pressure is before the DPF. Let's get this, well, hang on. Now, for anybody that's never ever seen inside a diesel particulate filter, that is all it is. It's honeycomb. What happens is all the soot is gathered in them little holes, and when the pressure builds up, it does a force regen, and it burns, gets very, very hot, and it burns all the soot out, reduces the pressure, and you can carry on driving perfectly, providing everything before the DPF is working perfectly. This DPF will look after itself. I've said it no end of times. The engine's healthy, the DPF's going to be healthy. Got faults on the engine, this is going to be faulty. It's never the DPF that causes the problems. Yes, it causes issues, but it's not the problem. Right, let's get it put back on. Right, with a little bit more magic, we are doing quite a bit of magic on this vehicle. That new DPF is on. Now we need to go around to fill in this tank, additive tank, which is in here, and we have got the fluid. And also, because I haven't done one for a while, I've lost my filling kit. You get a little cap, little pipe, and little fixtures and fittings that click onto the tank. I'm not going to show you connecting them all up because it is a little bit of a fiddle, because I've got to use both hands. Right, you know what, I thought I might as well show you how I do it. So I've taken the tank off. It's like 2 minutes to get it off. Now that's the patch fluid. What we're going to do is literally get a hole, poke a little bit of a hole in it so it breathes, open the tap, and then that should flow in and fill up beautifully. Well, that is it. That's that pat tank, Helios fluid, whatever you want to call it, is filled up and it is put back on the car. Got the DPF on. I've also got me battery support on. Now we're going to get in the van and just tell the van exactly what it's had, and reinitialize the additive tank and tell the vehicle it's had a new particulate filter. First things first, let's tell it it's had a brand new particulate filter. Switch ignition off. You've got to turn it on, off, wait for power latches and right. Like, the only thing you haven't got to do is put the spare wheel on the roof. And then filling of the additive reservoir. Switch ignition off. Switch ignition on again. Learning complete. And then once we've relearnt everything, we need to go back and clear the fault codes. Let's get on the van, start it up, read some data stream, exhaust line, pressure, engine speed. That'll do. And there we go. You can see there now we're at 0 millibars or 1 millibar a tick over, which is absolutely perfect. And before it was at 60 millibars of pressure. I've pretty much now finished with everything. Parts being replaced, relearned, programmed, cleared, whatever you want to do on that. That is all done. I'm going to get the vehicle off my ramp. We're going to take it down the road for a little bit of a test drive. I tell you what, this weather is absolutely horrendous. It's damp, it's miserable, it's depressing, it gets you down. But anyway, I thought, well, it's about lunchtime, so I thought, well, if I'm going for a test drive, I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I'll stop and grab some dinner at the same time while I'm out in the van. Does that make sense? Because I am test driving this through my lunchtime, because I just haven't got time to do anything at the minute. So the van's driving perfect, got plenty of power, it's getting up to speed, temperature's getting halfway. I'm happy with everything. I think we need to get back to the garage and just check some live data and make sure that everything is tickety-boo. Well, that test drive was successful. I'm happy with the vehicle, how it drives. We've got all of its performance back. We've got no lights on the dashboard. other than what's on there now. Handbrake, seatbelt, doors and lights. But yeah, car is driving as it should. Van, should I say. Revs as it should. We've got 1 millibar a tick over. If we hold it at 3000 RPM, we've got 30 millibar, which is more than acceptable. Distance remaining until the DPF's being replaced again is 180,000 kilometers. But yeah, I am more than happy with the outcome of this repair. Now, if you've made it this far in the video and I haven't bored you with all the talking that I've done, but I tell you what, it is hard for me to make a video while I'm working, diagnosing it, getting bits organized. It's so hard. It's a juggle to try and keep it all together. But like I said, if you've made it this far in the video and you have enjoyed it and you've learned something from it, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And I'm going to go and put all my tools away now and on to the next job. And I will definitely see you on the next video. Hope you've all had a nice weekend. Take it easy. Let's get it sent.